having a fabulous day so far. My name is Dylan with Designs by Dylan, and Dean and I are so excited to be here this morning to bring you guys another fabulous video. Something that we wanted to touch on this week, take a little break from Mardi Gras, would be a cemetery saddle. And the benefit of using this is I know everyone has loved ones who passed away, and so this is a great opportunity to learn kind of some tips and tricks that I use and follow when getting ready for the cemetery flowers. And Valentine's is coming up, so of course some people want to put beautiful things at the cemetery. So if this video can help you in any way, then we've definitely done our job. So I hope you all had a fantastic weekend. I know I did. I was running a little bit late this morning. I had a UPS fiasco, but I got that figured out, so I'm glad that I'm here. But we're going to do this cemetery saddle, and this is going to be pretty much on the simplistic side, but you can always take what I'm showing, use this as your base, and then build on from there to get the desired look that you want. Whether you want to add different stems or colors or textures or greenery, you can do all of that by adding those into the saddle next. Okay, so as you guys join us this morning, y'all make sure you leave a comment. Let me know that you're here, where you're watching from, and any questions or comments you have throughout today's video, girl, drop those down below so that we can check those out and help you in any way that we can. Hey Helen, good morning. Okay, so we've got our cemetery saddle, and most of them come the two pieces separate. So you have the metal and you have the foam separate. So what I did is I just took the metal base and then I inserted it into the styrofoam, okay? And I just kind of, what do you call it? Bent these a little bit, like I'm going to do some more. And this kind of props it up and gives you a little platform to work off of, and I like it a little bit taller so you guys can see better. Hi Sandy from Florida. And the most common greenery used, guys, for cemetery work is going to be leather leaf fern. It's so inexpensive, and you can find it almost anywhere. And you can probably find it mostly in a bush like this. We carry it at ellishomeandgarden.com along with the base that you have here, the mechanics. You've got the greenery. And then our item of the week this week is going to be rose bushes. And the rose bushes are $4 a bush. And you get 10 different stems on one bush. So that means 10 cuts, 10 individual roses. So we're going to end up using 40. So I've got a total of 4 bushes. That's only 16 bucks. Plus your greenery, which this is on sale for hardly nothing. And then your mechanics. You can really make an inexpensive saddle, but you can make it really pretty really quick. Would you accept this rose? Okay. Hey, Deborah. So now we're going to take our...
About having one taken back.
Leather leaf. What, do what?
She got hers taken back.
Oh, really? That's never happened before, has it? Oh, Lord. Are you guys watching The Bachelor this season? I'm not, but Dina is. So if you have any thoughts, y'all leave them so that she can tell you what she thinks. I've just been running around, and Morgan's getting ready to move in her apartment, so she came home last weekend and we got her packed up, and I just haven't had time. Plus, I'm still trying to get Christmas stuff taken down. The other day, I finally got my Christmas in my house taken down. My Santa's still on the front porch and everything, but one thing at a time. But now the problem is everything is moved to the garage, and I've got to go through all that and put it in storage. That's almost worse than taking it down. But I did get all the villages packed up and put in the boxes, and that wasn't as bad as I thought. I turned on some music, and just the dogs, you know, sat there and stared at me. So we did that, but it's coming down slowly but surely. Okay, I'm going to take my leather leaf fern, and I'm going to put 3 pieces in each end, okay? You want to angle the 2 out closest to the sides, and we're going to put 5 on each side. So 1 in the center and 2 slanted towards the end of the foam. And what you're doing is you're creating a platform or a base that you're going to build on top of with your roses. And for our filler on this saddle, we're going to actually use some more leather leaf and put it on there that way. Okay? So let's do this all the way through. So guys, I was telling Dina about this show. If you like spooky, scary shows, it's not really scary, but it's on Netflix, and it's called Archive 81. It is so good. It's about a cult, and you know I love occult stuff. So check it out. It's on Netflix, Archive 81. We also watched the new season of Ozark. So there's 7 episodes out, and there's 7 more coming, and then that's it. It's over. But the 7 that they put out were really good, and I can't wait to see it. Have you ever seen that show? Oh, it's the best ever.
Deborah says the video keeps cutting off, but it hasn't cut off on here.
Guys, I've heard that from a lot of people, and it's a new Facebook update thing. So, Sherry, I don't know, girl. I need to do one, I promise, very soon. But since Facebook updated something, whether it was an app or whatever, I've heard that if you watch it on your device, whether it's your phone or your iPad, that sometimes there's that problem. But if you X out of the video and come back, then it should fix itself. Okay, last piece of leather leaf. And this is what your base looks like, guys, once you have created it. Okay? So now, we're going to take our beautiful roses. I like this color. It's kind of like a fuchsia pink, but you guys can use, of course, whatever color you want. Or say you want to use 4 bushes, which is a total of 40 individual roses. You can do half and half. 2 bushes that are red, 2 bushes that are white, vice versa. And you can get a great little combo, and then just mix your flowers in every other color as you add them in. So on the roses, I'm going to cut these at the very bottom. Okay. And reminder, guys, item of the week, the rose bushes themselves are $4 a bush. Okay. Someone just asked a question, is this for something?
Is this for a funeral?
It could be, but most of the time, people use this size grave saddle for the top of a tombstone. So yeah. Okay, so we're going to start in the center, and I'm going to go down. Okay. You never want any flowers to come out past your greenery, so keep that in mind. And you want to taper every single flower that you stick in here, okay, or rose. How was your week, Dina? Is everybody out sick at Walmart, or everybody good?
We had 19 call-ins.
Oh, Lord.
One night.
The COVID's going around, y'all, that, what's it called, Omicron, and I had a client that I was supposed to take down yesterday, and she told me yesterday morning her husband wasn't feeling well, and I was like, look, just to be safe, you need to go get him tested because I don't want to go over there and get sick. I can't afford that right now. Anyway, and he was positive, so I've got to wait a while before I go do that, but I think, you know, like I said, I think it's just something we're all going to get eventually. Hopefully, you know, symptoms aren't as bad as they were at the very beginning, and they've got stuff to make you feel better. But it's crazy. Okay, so I got my first layer done. Look at that, y'all. You can see it from the top view.
Shane is asking when it gets closer to Easter, will you do a tour of the store?
Sure. They're still getting in product, guys. You know that everything is still delayed. Nothing on our end, but it's just with the factories and the companies and with COVID delays and everything. So they're still waiting on lots of product, but as they begin to get more and more, we'll definitely take you around the store and show you all the new items, especially if you live near a location, because I always like coming in because it gives you great inspiration. Okay, I'm going to have to work on this side, and then as I complete it, I'll turn it around for you guys to see, because it's really hard for me to do it where you can see the whole thing. But I like to complete one side of my saddle at a time.
Without the legs, can this be used for a stand-up spray?
Yes. You can just leave the base of this flat, guys, and then you can put it on one of those metal easels. Either use a piece of wire or something like that to attach it. But yes, you definitely can do that. So what have you been watching?
Not much of anything.
Yeah. We watched The Archive 81. We watched the new season of Ozark. We're caught up on 1883. Loving that. What else are we watching, y'all? I'm watching Euphoria, which that is, don't watch it, okay? But I'm going to. It's very graphic, but it's good. It's on HBO. And I'm trying to think what else. I don't know. I've just been trying to get caught up, you know, since Christmas was over, and we went to market, and I'm buying stuff for my season next year, and so I'm still going through all the orders that I wrote at market and editing everything and getting that ready to go by the end of the month. So I'm almost done. I think I have 2 companies left that I've got to order from, and then I should be good. But I'm about to start redoing my store for Christmas next year. I've got a lot of things I want to change and really get in there and do some different stuff. So I'm excited for that. And I think I've got a plan as far as like what my themes are going to be, which I'm not going to tell you yet. You'll just have to wait for the reveal. But I think it's going to be good, y'all.
Deborah's asking, how would you do this for a flat marker?
Hi, Jen from Louisiana. So on a flat marker, you have to be careful because if you just lay this on there, it's going to hide your marker, and then that defeats the purpose of the marker. So in that case, I wouldn't do a saddle, so to speak, on a flat marker. I would do, what is it called? A cone, a cemetery cone. And if you don't have a vase, you can probably buy one of those vase inserts that sticks in the ground with the stake at the bottom. I'm sorry, y'all. I've got dog hair, and it's tickling my nose and driving me nuts. You can find one of those vase inserts that you can stick in the ground, and that should work as well.
Teresa's asking, how long do you cut? I always worry you're cutting too much or not enough.
Off your stems? Okay, that's a great question. And Teresa, I'm about to turn this around, and I'm going to explain and show you kind of what I've done. Because shaping is so important on cemetery work, because if you don't shape it well and taper things like you're supposed to, then you're just going to get a disheveled shape. And you know, I don't mean that in a bad way, but you have to taper so everything kind of flows down together, whether you're doing artificial flowers or fresh flowers. Okay. So this is what one side looks like, and I put a combination of the roses, and if you look from the side, you can kind of see. I have the tallest point in the center, which I did very beginning, the center row, and then I tapered off from there. So as you add in your stems going down, you want to push them in a little bit further in the styrofoam. It's almost not about cutting them shorter, it's about inserting them further in the foam. And that will give you that perfect round shape. But when you look at your saddle from an aerial overhead view, you want to be able to tell that it goes down, okay? And split it in half. So now I'm going to work on this side, and I'm going to replicate the same thing. Also, I don't do straight lines, so I'm not going straight up and down with the roses. I kind of put those unevenly through there, but you still have them where they're still at that slanted angle. And guys, if you have any questions throughout this video, drop those down below. And it's been a second since we've done a Q&A. So if you guys have any questions for me about me, or if you have any questions for Dina, y'all leave those down below. We'll get to know each other some more. And if it's your first time watching, we want to welcome you to Ella's Home and Garden. So y'all leave a comment, let us know. Anybody having a mimosa out there? I wish I did. You like mimosas, or you can't have orange juice?
I can have orange juice.
You like mimosas? Oh, I love them. Okay. So now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. But guys, we're doing this video to help you. So, like I said, if you have questions, now's the time to ask them while we're live, so I can go back and answer those and help you guys out. And if you wanted to put ribbon on here, you could always take some ribbon and add it on here as well. And we're going to go back in all those spaces, and we're going to add in that leatherleaf fern. And one thing I love about this bush is that it's got baby's breath attached to it already, so you're basically knocking out two birds with one stone, so it's great. So does anyone have their house decorated for Valentine's Day? Oh my God, I want to take a poll. Forget that, okay? I want to know, do you like conversation hearts, okay? My mom is obsessed with those. They taste like chalk, but she thinks they're the best thing ever. So I want to know. Leave a comment. Do y'all like conversation hearts? You like them?
I like them.
I mean,
I'm still camera shy.
One is okay, but I just can't. My mom can sit there and eat a whole bag.
Get a little box. I get the little boxes. And...
No. If I have to, I like the white ones because they taste like mint. But other than that, I just can't do it. So guys, I've got half of this done on the back, and I want you to see. So that's kind of what I'm doing. See, I've started down here on the corner, and then I'm working this in the front. Carla, I bet it's beautiful. Kelly, you're my kind of girl, okay?
Deborah's eating them right now.
Oh my God, Deborah. Yeah, see? People love them. Y'all Valentine's at Walmart? Get him out there? A little bit. Thank you, Angela, so much.
We have Easter candy out with the Valentine candy.
Oh my God, I love Easter. I didn't even decorate for Easter yesterday. Actually, last year at my house, all I did was put a bunny on the ottoman, and then I put a one village piece out on a cake plate in the kitchen, and it stayed out until I put the Christmas stuff up. So I probably am not going to do Easter. It's just...
Kelly don't do the peeps either.
Oh, God, no. You like those?
Yes.
I'm not a marshmallow fan, y'all. I can eat marshmallow in a Rice Krispie treat, and that's about it. But people who do the s'mores, and they eat that white, I cannot. Now, if somebody sticks one in like hot chocolate on the top, I don't mind that, but I'm just not gonna sit there and eat. You know that? What is that stuff in the jar? Like that marshmallow.
It's like
You eat that too?
Stuff. No, that's nasty stuff.
That is nasty. Okay, I've got 2 more roses, and then I'm going to show you how you can take that same leather leaf and then fill in your saddle using that. Okay.
Do you do fresh florals at all?
I do not do fresh florals, Deborah. I have never honestly tried. I have a great friend who owns Ann's Petals here, and she's tried to get me to come play around, and you know, she's like, Dylan, I know you're going to do it. And I'm like, I can't. I just love artificials because you can bend them and shape them. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure you can do that with live flowers too. You just have to go about a different technique. But I just love artificial. Look how pretty that is, guys. So it's all uniform and in shape. So here's what we're going to do. Get your leather leaf. Yeah, fluff. That's what it's called. Not good. Get your leather leaf. And we're going to cut off the bottom 2 leaves. Okay? We need shorter pieces.
If you were to add ribbon, where would you add it?
You could put a bow, and you could stick it right here and right here, and leave your tails longer, and then let those kind of cascade throughout the saddle. So I'm making a pile of leather leaf. I'm cutting the bottom 2 leaves off.
When using different color flowers, do you group them or separate them?
Separate. No. Yeah, separate. You want to blend everything in together. The only time I would color block, you know, would be on a wreath. I wouldn't do that on a saddle, so to speak. I'd blend them all in together. So I have smaller leather leaf. Okay. And let me see if I can get close to this. Let me show y'all how we're going to add. You take your leather leaf and you kind of bend it a little bit, okay? And then you come in between your flowers and you bend it down just like that. Okay? And you go up and down in between your flowers and you keep bending it so that it curves down with that shape. And, you know, as far as how much you put, that's something that, a preference that you'll have to make or a choice you'll have to make because you're going to be able to tell pretty quick, you know, how much fullness you're achieving by adding in more stuff. So, Angela, the item of the week this week is the rose bushes. And they are on sale for $4 a bush. So we used 4 bushes, and there's a total of 10 stems on 1 bush. So that's a total of $16 for the roses. The leather leaf you can probably get for $5 to $7, and then the hardware is probably $5 to $7. So how much is that, Dana? I lost track. $25 maybe?
Yeah.
And that's just for what we're doing, but where it gets expensive on saddles is that you can just see how pretty that is now that I filled it up, y'all. On saddles, you can go crazy with greenery and filler. Leather leaf is inexpensive, and sometimes it's not always the most flattering. So you can use that as your base and then build on from there. Grasses would look beautiful in this saddle. English ivy would look pretty, whether it's variegated or green coming out underneath. So there's lots of different options for y'all.
Sharita.
Hey, Sharita. Did you get any hail when it hailed here? Oh my gosh, y'all. So let me put this up so y'all can see me. Okay, I was sitting on the couch one day. I got home from doing a takedown, and it was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I didn't have the TV on. It was dead quiet, and the dogs were laying on the couch. Well, my mom had called and said she was going to go to storage, but she was trying to hurry because she thought it was going to rain, and I said, okay. So, like 5 minutes after I got off the phone with her, y'all, it sounded like, it came out of nowhere, and it sounded like it was a tornado, and it scared me, and I thought, because it was real, like, muggy outside, and I got freaked out, and I jumped up off the couch, and I grabbed the dogs by the collar, and when I did, I looked up, and it was hailing quarter-size hail at my house. And it did that for like 25 minutes. And my mom got stranded in the road with all that stuff. She had to go to Dairy Queen and go inside. But it caused hail damage on my neighbor's car. They had to call the insurance and file a claim. She had dents all in the hood. It was that big. And my front door had like a pile this big. I'll show you a picture in a minute. Were you at work or at home?
I was at home. Finally, a day I had got to sleep before 3 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
And it woke me. It came through about 4:15 in my house and woke me up, and I couldn't go back to sleep till almost 6.
But I just knew it was a tornado, and I had just watched this movie on TV called 13 Minutes, and it was about 13 minutes basically when you have a tornado warning to take shelter. And then the day after, I thought it was a tornado, but it was hail. But still, it's still just as bad.
No, the hail always precedes a tornado when there is a tornado.
I know, because every time they said we're going to have a tornado or whatever, and it starts to hail, I'm like, this is it. It's time for Twister. But thankfully, it wasn't like that. Okay, y'all, check it out. And, if you have a little space, you can just move your roses around. Okay, so let's talk about other options for filler, okay? Oh my gosh, Deanna, that's happened to me too, girl. People, like I always say, and I don't mind saying it on here on this video, there's a special place in hell for people who steal off of people's graves. I mean, that's crazy. But, what were we talking about? Oh, filler. So once you get to this point, y'all, you have your roses, your main predominant flower, you've got your greenery, and everything like that. You can go back in here and add additional filler to make it even more full and colorful. So you have your big blooms, so use smaller blooms, like cornflowers, or baby blossoms, or lily of the valley. Use that to fill in. And then you can also use greenery, like I said, grasses, maidenhair fern, English ivy, Boston fern, stuff like that.
How would you secure this to keep it from blowing off?
Okay, y'all, so to secure it on the stone, you take these and, of course, you pull them down. Okay, here's what I do. You don't have to. It doesn't leave any residue. It doesn't mess up. I've had problems with them blowing off my dad's grave before. You take clear boxing tape and you wrap it right up here around the stone, and then you just pull your leather leaf down like this, and it hides the tape, and then your thing never blows off. And that clear boxing tape is so easy. You just pull it, it comes off. Don't use, E6000 or duct tape, please. But if you use that clear tape, not scotch, but boxing tape, it'll come off, and it'll keep everything secure, keep from blowing off in the wind.
Can you hold it like as if it were on an easel?
Oh yeah, like this. So see, guys, you can do the same thing with it this way. And all you do is get the easel, the hook on the easel, stick it under this metal rod, leave these flat, and then wire it on top of there, and you'll be good to go. And if it is upright, you can put long pieces coming out here. Gladiolas, of course, are like the traditional funeral flower, but I'm not a fan of gladiolas or, what's that stuff, carnations. So I use grasses to achieve that, or bells of Ireland, and you can curl them underneath there. Feathers are always great too, depending on the theme that you're going to go with or the colors. So both of those would work. All right, guys, roses, $4 a bush. They're on the website, ellishomeandgarden. Oh, my God. I haven't had enough Dr. Pepper. ellishomeandgarden.com, along with everything that you see. Make sure you check them out on there. Guys, you can follow me on Facebook at Designs by Dylan. And Dean and I are so excited to be back today. And we will see you guys next Tuesday at 9 for another fabulous video. And I hope this video brings you inspiration and gives you all the tips and tricks you need to create your own saddle. And every once in a while in my videos, I like to challenge you guys to do something. So I challenge you, if you've never made a saddle, you're interested, and this video helped you to make your own, share your photo with us, tag us, hashtag #EllisHomeandGarden, because we want to see your work, what you do, and I know it's going to be fabulous. So y'all have a fantastic rest of your day, and we'll see you next week. Bye, y'all.
Bye.